Little things that make life big, the moments in between, a smile, a breath, a quiet joy.
Now the first chapter of Romans, beginning with verse 26. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemingly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. And even as they did not retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. That last part frightens me, because when you watch the television or a film and you see all of these things going on and you have pleasure in it and you get a vicarious thrill out of it, then you're equally guilty, or I'm equally guilty. And that bothers me when I watch some things on television. You know, I had the privilege of seeing Mr. Kenyatta in his last year as president of Kenya. And I'll never forget that day when we met him, and then his daughter gave a marvelous luncheon for us. She was the mayor of Nairobi. And I remember that they accused him of being head of the Mau Mau. And of course, he disliked the British when the British ruled Kenya. And there was all kinds of guerrilla activities going on, and many deaths, and many people were murdered. And when the British finally decided to pull the flag down and turn it over to the people, Mr. Kenyatta was elected president of Kenya. And he got up on the radio. They didn't have television in Kenya at that time. And he got on the radio and he addressed the nation, and the British were frightened as to what he would say, because they thought there might be a great slaughter of British people. And Mr. Kenyatta made his address, and then he said toward the end of his address, I forgive you. You have accused me of many things, and you've put me in prison, and I've suffered much. But he said, I want you to know I forgive you. Will you forgive me? And all over Kenya, there was a relaxation and prayers of thanksgiving, because two sides were forgiving each other, and Kenya has become one of the great countries of all of Africa, and certainly one of the great democracies in Africa. Mr. Moi is now the president of Kenya, and he was vice chairman of our last crusade in Nairobi, because a man dared to stand up and ask the people to forgive him. There have been many terrible people that have lived in history that have lived every bit of what I've just read. 21 things that the Apostle Paul is indicting people of here. One was Hitler. We all know what Hitler did. I've been through those camps in Poland and in Germany and all over, where those concentration camps for Jews and other people were. And I've seen something of it. I remember the first time we went to Auschwitz, and I was supposed to make a speech. And I remember that they took a wreath for me to lay. And my wife and I walked up in front of a lot of cameras, and I turned around to make my speech after we'd seen all the horrors that went on in Auschwitz. And I was so moved emotionally, I really couldn't give my speech. I had to read it. I could not see it, and could not give it as I had planned to give it. And then there was Stalin, who came along in the Soviet Union. and Mao Zedong in China, and many others in our time that have killed thousands and millions of people and tortured them. And there are many thousands of people in prison still today that are political prisoners, religious prisoners, and so forth. We had a man here the other night that spent 16 years in solitary confinement in one country. And that night, here in this place, he made his commitment to Jesus Christ. And he had thought his way through.
Ooh, the ancient hollows breathe. These stones, they hold the weary time. The creek sides waking with the bloom. Forever yonder, this sacred ground.